I've known Skip for just as long. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Especially when they brought up the $1.5 million. The Skip Bayless I know has a hard time giving away $15. He's one of the cheapest people I know. That's just me. But that doesn't mean that I have any inside knowledge about any of this. I don't, and I'm not going to get involved.
Stephen A. Smith reacts to the Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor allegations. Check out what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
I have to get started with this subject because we all know that anytime you mention Skip Bayless, most folks want to hear what I have to say. And that's where we're going to get started because it's sports media news, which makes it apropos. And it involves a recent lawsuit filed against Fox Sports, and several people, including my buddy Skip Bayless, my former colleague at ESPN. The suit filed by a woman named Noushin Faraji, a former hairstylist for the company, cites several instances of workplace misconduct, okay?
Still surprised by this. Didn't expect Skip Bayless' name to come up in the mix as far as lawsuits and misconduct at work. I'm interested to see Stephen A. take on this whole Skip Bayless lawsuit allegations.
The 42-page, that's right, 42-page suit names several defendants, including Fox Sports Executive Vice President Charlie Dixon and even host Joy Taylor. Faraji alleges Dixon grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party. Dang. And when she relayed the encounter to Taylor, the Fox host allegedly told her to, quote, get over it, end quote.
Nasty
As
word.
for Skip Bayless, Faraji says he touched her inappropriately and propositioned her for sex, offering her $1.5 million, end quote. I'll get to Tori and her thoughts on for a second.
So Skip allegedly offered $1.5 million for the box. I guess he got declined, and now we're here with these lawsuit allegations. So not a good look for Skip Bayless, even if the allegations aren't true. Just having your name in the mix with these type of allegations, that's nothing that nobody wants to deal with.
First things first, let me tell you why I had to cover this. Number one, it's news. Number two, I was just on the air a few weeks ago and took some heat for the fact that I pointed out that I've been friends with Jay-Z for 25 years. And I know nothing about what happened. No intimate details. Certainly can't be irresponsible and not try to interfere with a legal matter, a lawsuit. But in the same breath, I didn't think it was a crime to point out that the person that I've known for 25 years, I've never seen somebody that would be capable of that, with that meaning that person that I was around for 25 years. The same applies to Skip Bayless. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't work at Fox. I worked at Fox from 2001 to 2003. I haven't been there. I haven't been in that building in over 20 years.
Hey, Stephen A. is like, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I was only there back in the early 2000s, about 2 years. So, he's just giving his overview more just on knowing Skip Bayless. These are the people that we want to hear from, the Stephen A. Smiths, the whoever known Skip Bayless, worked with him. Those are the people we want to hear from, but we want to hear from Skip Bayless as well.
I don't know any details or anything like that. And I'm not here to castigate Ms. Faraji or anybody else. I don't know Charlie Dixon that well, even though he used to work at ESPN. I don't know Joy Taylor that well. Even though she and I have interacted with one another on several occasions throughout her career, and I find her to be a consummate professional, very good at what she does, very capable, very knowledgeable about the world of sports and what have you. I also know that she's big on women empowerment, so it's hard to imagine her saying get over it. But again, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. But the way that, Joy Taylor, she stand on business. She's like that alpha female type of personality. So she gonna have to stand on some business. I was watching the show she's on speak. Her vibe and energy seemed off. So something's definitely going on. Don't know if it's true or not, but you can start to see that these whole allegations, they're starting to weigh on her.
But we all know that when you see Stephen A. Smith with a subject like this and the name involves Skip Bayless, that's what you want to know about. And here's what I would tell you. I don't know what happened. But just like I said, I've known Jay-Z for 25 years. I can't imagine that. I've known Skip for just as long. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Especially when they brought up the $1.5 million. The Skip Bayless I know has a hard time giving away $15.
True. Maybe he might be frugal, but when you got tens of millions of dollars, believe he signed a 4-year, $24 million deal, whatever contract that he signed, he got over 20 M. So having 1.5 million, trying to compete in the workplace, trying to be that top dog, not saying that he did it, but you can't put that past him.
He's one of the cheapest people I know. That's just me. But that doesn't mean that I have any inside knowledge about any of this. I don't, and I'm not going to get involved. I think it's incredibly dicey and irresponsible for people who don't know to act like they do know. I also feel it's important that if you know people or you think you know people and you've had a long-standing relationship with those people, that it's not a crime for you to say the person that I know, the person that I've been around, the person that I worked with in his case, you know, for 4 straight years, from 2012 to 2016, doing First Take every weekday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The person that I knew since our days at Fox Sports when we would appear on Jim Rome's show, okay, The Last Word and stuff like that, and we were in the same Fox building off of Pico Boulevard and Avenue of the Stars. The person that I've seen that really, really trusts almost no one and doesn't expose himself to anybody, you know, eating the same breakfast and lunch every day. His vice is a Diet Mountain Dew, and he doesn't socialize with people.
Maybe to you, based off your interactions with him, but you're not around Skip Bayless 24/7. Again, I know that's your homie. I would do the same thing if I had a friend that was, you know, accused of something. I would let them know, yo, that person has a great character. I can't see them doing stuff like this. But again, when you got the money and power like Skip has, when you got the influence, you can make a call and possibly get someone on a television show or removed from a television show so that power could get to you. So again, not saying Skip Bayless did anything. These are all allegations, but anybody is capable of doing anything.
That's the guy I know. So imagining him being in this kind of position is shocking, to say the least. All I could tell you is that it's not the Skip Bayless I know. But obviously, this is a legal matter he's going to have to deal with because this situation doesn't appear to be going away. A lawsuit has been filed. This person who's a hairstylist, the people that I've spoken to in the last 24 hours that have some knowledge about her says that she's the kind of person that she's meticulous with her details and she's going to chronicle things and that's how she operates. I don't know her.
That's going to be the main thing with this lawsuit, this case, however you want to call it, the details. I've been hearing that she has times and dates of going to HR. And so she's detailed with it. This isn't going to be good for Skip Bayless.
I don't know them. I know Skip. And I'm very, very heartbroken that he finds himself in this situation, being accused of these allegations. But I can't be over the airways being irresponsible and attaching truth or innocence, you know, or guilt to anything that I know nothing about. All I can say, and I don't think it's a crime to say, is just like I said with Jay-Z, the person that I know for 25 years, I've never seen anything like that from that person, anything close to that from that person. That's the same thing that I would tell you about Skip Bayless. That's all I can say. I have nothing else to add because I don't know what happened. I don't know what was said. I don't know whether something was misconstrued or anything like that. That's where I'm coming from with it, Tori. I know you had thoughts and opinions about this. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say. You are a lady in this industry. You've been a journalist for years. You know what level of professional integrity is supposed to come with the business. You know the tenets that come associated with it. And obviously, I am not a woman. You are. And so when you see a story like this, I'd like to know what your thoughts are and any perspective you could provide.
This is the thing when you're in the workplace, mingling or allegedly mingling with people, flirting. These are the type of things that can happen when you have the money and the power like Skip. Again, all allegations, don't know what's true, what's not true. You got to let the court proceedings play out a little more, but this is definitely a bad look for Skip. Don't know how he got himself in this situation. If you needed some stuff like that, I'm sure you could have made a call. You know people within the industry. He didn't have to go this route if it is true, offering 1.5 for the cat when he could have got the cat elsewhere outside of work. He is married too, so I don't know his dynamics at home, but if this is true, he didn't have to go about it like this. He could have easily got it outside the workplace.
My initial reactions were disappointment as well, because Skip Bayless has an incredible legacy in the sports commentary world. You worked alongside him. Everybody knows Skip Bayless, and it was disappointing to know that his name was going to be, when you Google his name today, this is the lawsuit that's going to pop up. And this may pop up for several weeks now. So you can't get away from something like this once it's in writing. Now, this is a civil matter. And anytime you're reading a 40-page document like this, when I read through it, initially, you have to be unbiased when you're listening to these allegations, but you have to remember that this is simply that, allegations. And this is going to be an issue that's going to be talked about for several weeks. But initially, I was disappointed to see Skip's name in this, as well as Miss Faraji. As a woman, I can tell you that whenever you hear about your colleagues or anyone going through this, you're hurt for them. And based off her allegations in this civil lawsuit, she says that she spoke to several people about trying to talk about some of the things that she was allegedly exposed to, and she was told to be quiet, and that if you...
Yeah, that's the thing, is she did reach out to HR, which I did hear within the transcripts. If that was the case and they kind of just turned a blind eye or just told her, chill, relax, we'll handle it, and it didn't get handled, again, that's just another bad look for Skip if he's trying to proclaim his innocence, especially if she has the receipts to prove everything. So that was Stephen A. Smith, reaction to the whole Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor allegations. Again, that's Skip Bayless, homie. I've known him for over 20 years. They've been in the business together for a very long time, contributed on ESPN, First Take, and other type of shows. So I expect him to stand up for his homie. And again, he's not wrong for that. But again, we need more answers about this whole allegation, lawsuit stuff. There's definitely going to be a lot of questions answered in the very near future. Again, I'll keep y'all updated with all the updates and reactions surrounding this lawsuit with Skip Bayless.